Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. I'm Princess Habiba Saripaudak from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to Balitang Pambansa. Tonight's headlines. Government preparations for the Holy Week kicks into high gear as the highly anticipated Exodus nears. The National Maritime Council and National Security Council expressed concern over the discovery anew of drones believed to be from China. A measure is now being pushed that seeks more participation from citizens in the process of lawmaking. On top of the news, DOH advisories against heat-related illness in place, plus nationwide hospitals on code-wide alert. Check Philippine Coast Guard deployment of recreational service inspection group for lifeguard first aid services in popular beaches and resorts and in seaports to avert passenger overloading. Check. And a 65,000-strong PNP force to keep the peace, order, and for crime prevention on the streets and neighborhoods. Our Ecclesial Pardilia sums up an overall safety net of the military, police, and safety crew for a trouble-free Lenten observance.
74-year-old Uvita experiences dizziness and high blood pressure whenever the weather becomes extremely hot. But she won't let that stop her. She's determined to push through with her trip to visit her sister in Nawag, Ilocos Norte this Holy Week.
Pag ganito, dahan-dahan lang paglakad. May dala ka palaging payong, tubig. Kung pagod ka, magpahinga ka, may paypay ka.
The Department of Health warns travelers and Holy Week vacationers to stay alert for heat-related illness such as heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Symptoms include excessive thirst and cold sweating.
Pagka hindi mo na-correct yun, magko-collapse ka. So it's important early on na mag-cool down ka. If you're thirsty, you drink plenty of water. If you feel weak, fatigue, ang tinatawag na next step after thirst is yung heat fatigue or heat weaknesses, mag-shade ka na or mag-aircon ka na. Majority of the heat illnesses, nagre-recover basta na-treat early. We do not wait for them na mag-collapse. Kasi pag nag-collapse ka, sa emergency, ang tuloy mo.
The Health Department has placed all hospitals under code white status. This means facilities and medical teams are on standby, ready to respond to possible health emergencies this Holy Week. Drowning is one of Sherry's biggest fears during vacations. That is why she's keeping a close eye and is constantly reminding her children and nieces who plan to go swimming.
Huwag nilang sabayan yung alon para iwas sa pagkalunod po sila, ma'am.
The Philippine Coast Guard or PCG has deployed recreational service inspection teams. They aim to ensure there are enough lifeguards, first aid personnel, and clinics in tourist spots to prevent drowning incidents. The PCG is also tightly monitoring ports and terminals to stop overloading of passengers and cargo.
We will not tolerate po once na mayroon po kaming ma-observe na mga overloading vehicles or overloading ships na magbiyahe po, and we will not allow them.
The Philippine National Police is on full alert, deploying 65,000 officers to secure crowded areas this Holy Week. Round-the-clock patrols are in place to deter burglary and house trespassing. They are also cracking down on rentangay and travel scams. The PNP is committed to ensuring a safe and peaceful Holy Week. Authorities reminded the public,
kailangan po nating maging vigilant tayo. We save cellphone numbers sa ating mga cellphones at bago tayo magbiyahe ay alam natin yung mga hotline numbers kung saan po tayo pupunta.
From PTV Manila, Ecclesial Pardilia, Balitang Pambansa.
Meanwhile, the Department of Tourism, or DOT, has ordered the full activation of its regional offices across the country to ensure the smooth flow of travel and efficient management of tourist destinations this Holy Week. According to the palace, the directive aims to strengthen coordination and monitoring in areas with high tourist foot traffic. The government anticipates over 30 million domestic and international travelers during the Holy Week break. The agency also urges the public to choose only DOT-accredited establishments to ensure a safe, standard-compliant travel experience and avoid being scammed.
Ang mga operations centers na ito ay nakatalaga upang mag-monitor at mag-cooperate at makipag-coordinate sa mga pangunahing tourist spots, layuning masiguro ang maayos na pamamahala at karanasang ligtas para sa lahat.
To provide more effective education delivery and a more comfortable learning environment for students, the government continues to enhance school facilities across the country. This follows the successful renovation of Barangay Pulong Sampaloc Elementary School in Doña Remedios, Trinidad, Bulacan. The renovation was made possible through the collaboration of the 51st Engineer Brigade of the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the 356th Expeditionary Civil Engineer Group of the United States Air Force. The Philippine Navy has released findings of the 3 out of 5 submersible drones recorded or recovered in different parts of the Philippine waters. The drones bear Chinese markings and one was even found using a China Telecom SIM card. Our PTV's Patrick De Jesus has the report.
Out of 5 submersible drones recovered in different parts of Philippine waters, the Philippine Navy has released findings for 3 of them. This includes one that was found in Pasukin, Ilocos Norte on July 2022, and others recovered last year in Calayan Island and in Itao, Misamis Oriental. Based on forensic analysis, the drones bear Chinese markings, and one even used a China Telecom SIM card. There is a strong likelihood that they were from and were deployed by the Chinese government.
There is a 55 to 80% likelihood that this was deployed by the Chinese Communist Party. Why 55 to 80%? Is because of the components inside. They have the capability to receive, to process, to store, and to transmit data through satellite communications to a station on land, to a mothership, or to other drones.
The Navy adds the information possibly gathered by these drones has implications on national security.
In today's generation of warfare, information is key. He who holds information will have an advantage. Any potential adversary who would like to harm our country would need to know the information. More importantly, since we are an archipelago, underwater information.
The National Maritime Council and National Security Council also expressed concern over the findings from these drones.
So why are they here or why they've been used here? Again, for military and non-military purpose. So again, that's for intelligence gathering. Whether it's military or non-military, it's for intelligence gathering. So basically, that's how far they would like to venture into our maritime territory. In fact, some of the components there were found to be manufactured by China state organizations. So evidently, I think now we can conclusively say that these are Chinese underwater drones. And these are alarming because, as mentioned by Yusek Lopez, these are used for intelligence purposes. So this really shows the extent of the operations in the Philippines.
As of now, there has been no response from the Chinese embassy regarding the matter. Meanwhile, the Navy Marine Expeditionary Ship Interdiction System, or Nemesis missile system of the U.S., has arrived in the Philippines. The Armed Forces of the Philippines did not disclose the exact location, but it will be part of the Balikatan exercises this year, which are set to begin next week. The Nemesis missile system is expected to remain in the Philippines even after the conclusion of Balikatan. just like the mid-range capability or Typhoon missile system that has been in the country since last year and was used in various trainings.
If there's another exercise going in the Philippines shortly after Balitang and that equipment is appropriate and requested for it by the AFP, we would certainly look to participate in that exercise as well, but it is here for exercise purposes.
Balikatan 2025 will be a full-scale battle exercise with participation from 14,000 Filipino and American troops along with observers from other countries. The AFP already anticipates another response from China.
We are agnostic to whatever reactions other countries may have with the exercise. But as I've always said, in all the previous exercises, every country, big or small, has the absolute and inalienable right to defend itself. That means that we also have a right to train for that defense and with the partners, our treaty allies.
From the People's Television Network, Patrick De Jesus, Balitang Pambansa.
We are a nation of laws conceived and put in place for the public's sake. Hence, to craft better legislation, engaging broader people participation is wise. A proposed piece of legislation on crowdsourcing seeks greater citizens' participation is in the works as we hear more from our Mela Lesmoras.
If you were to be asked what proposed law would you like to see enacted and effectuated in the Philippines?
Para sa akin siguro yung mga transportation wag nang tumaas. Kasi di ba nahihirapan dahil sa mga trabaho nila, sana tumaas din ang sahod.
Mas mababa pa sa akin.
Okay.
Pamurahin nila yung gamot, tsaka yung gatas, lalo na yung isang gatas na mahal, hindi namin kayang bilhin.
Here at the House of Representatives, Camarines Sur 2nd District Representative Elry Villafuerte is now pushing to introduce greater transparency, inclusivity, and efficiency in the legislative process by establishing country's first ever crowdsourcing platform where Filipinos can propose new laws themselves to address their most pressing needs and concerns. This is through House Bill number 303 or Crowdsourcing Bill. Under this proposal, an online platform will be established where people can submit their own proposed measures, and once it gathers 300 verified signatures, it would be forwarded to the Congress for further action. For Villafuerte, this would be the best example of participatory democracy once enacted into law, because in this way, lawmaking will become more inclusive and effective and also timely since many of our countrymen have deep knowledge and vast experience in various fields. Aside from this, other lawmakers also continue to file various bills and resolutions. For her part, House Deputy Minority Leader Bernadette Herrera is now calling for an immediate investigation into the collapse of a concrete column at the MRT construction site along West Avenue in Quezon City through her House Resolution number 2262. Meanwhile, Agri-Party List Representative Wilbert Lee is pushing for House Bill number 11499, which aims to strengthen the Climate Change Act for even greater benefit to farmers and fisherfolk. From PTV, Mela Lesmoras, Balitang Pambansa.
The Department of Agriculture, or DA, is continuously monitoring the potential effects of heat on crop production. The DA also made sure that they have interventions which include the rainwater collection during wet season in rainwater shelters, irrigation systems, and small ponds. Animals were also placed in shelters to protect them from heat-related diseases. As of now, the department is continuously conducting market monitoring to ensure proper pricing in agricultural products. On the other news, the Bureau of Immigration, or BI, extended their services to have a faster and convenient travel this Holy Week. BI opened all their 44 immigrations counter in NAIA Terminal 3 for faster immigration processing of the passengers. This is in line with the directive of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to have a safe travel experience for all Filipinos. On the other hand, the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines, or NGCP, announced that no yellow or red alert status is expected in the country's power grids during the Holy Week 2025. According to NGCP, this forecast holds true as long as there are no sudden or extended maintenance shutdowns of power plants. This means that the possibility of brownouts remains low, especially for those traveling to provinces for vacation during the Holy Week. In addition to Holy Week, NGCP also does not foresee any red or yellow alerts during the midterm elections in May 12, 2025 or throughout the entire summer season. The power grid operator also assured the public that contingency plans are in place in case of unexpected power plant shutdowns. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, or the BSP, reported that personal remittances from overseas Filipino workers climbed 2.6% year over year in February 2025, reaching $3.2 billion. This marks an increase from the $2.95 billion recorded in February 2024. Cumulative remittances for January and February 2025 also reached $6.27 billion, up from 2.7% from the same period last year. Of these remittances, cash remittances sent through banks reached $2.72 billion, which is a 2.7% higher from a year earlier. Meanwhile, land-based OFWs accounted for the majority of bank remittances, sending $2.19 billion in February, while sea-based workers contributed $52 million. The United States remained the top source of remittances, accounting for 40.9% of the total, followed by Singapore at 7.6%. The North Luzon Expressway, or NLEX southbound zipper lane, will be open once the Holy Week exodus begins and travel to their respective destinations from Manila. Meanwhile, the northbound zipper lanes will open once the motorists head back to Metro Manila after the Holy Week break. This is according to NLEX Traffic Management Head Robin Ignacio to avoid traffic congestion in the said expressway. The NLEX will deploy more traffic personnel and all road repairs will be suspended. The Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, or the DSUD, and the Department of Labor and Employment Employees Compensation Commission signed an agreement to build a workers' rehabilitation center complex in Tanay, Rizal. The project aims to help the workers to experience unexpected circumstances while working by means of giving them rehabilitation, additional livelihood, and affordable housing. The State Insurance Fund will be responsible for providing the necessary allocation for the project, while DSUD will lead the design and construction of the center. The 89-man Filipino humanitarian team dispatched to quake-stricken Myanmar on the 1st and 2nd of April returned home over the weekend after a successful relief and recovery assistance mission. But the benefit was not unilateral. The humanitarian team came back with invaluable lessons learned that will come pretty handy and useful should a similar, identical, or even worse calamity, such as the big one, God forbid, hit the country. Health Secretary Dr. Ted Herbosa, the value of preparation and logistics alone drawn from the Myanmar mission is without peer and greatly helped first responders in training their crews and teams moving forward. Balitang Pambansa will return. Stay tuned.
may nagbabalik sa Bagong Pilipinas. Abangan ang patuloy naming paghahatid ng mga makabuluhang impormasyon at exciting developments sa Clark Freeport Zone. Ako po si Attorney Nicolette Henson para sa CDC sa Bagong Pilipinas ngayon.
Health Watch, alertong pangkalusugan. Mag-ingat sa dengue. Ang dengue ay isang viral infection na nagmumula sa kagat ng lamok na Aedes na sanhi din ng iba pang sakit gaya ng Zika virus at chikungunya. Ito ay nagdudulot ng mataas na lagnat, pamamantal, pananakit sa likod ng mata at ulo, kasukasuan at kalamnan na pwedeng magtuloy sa severe dengue na may kasamang pananakit ng tiyan at pagsusuka, pagdurugo at hirap sa paghinga. Ang mga sintomas ay karaniwang nagtatagal mula 2 hanggang 7 araw. Tandaan ang 4S sa laban natin kontra dengue. Suyurin at sirain ang mga pinamumugaran ng lamok. Sarili ay protektahan. Sumangguni agad sa pinakamalapit na doktor o pagamutan at suportahan ang fogging at spraying activities kapag may banta ng outbreak. Tandaan, sa panahon ng sakit, dapat laging listo.
And we are back. Good news to residents of Metro Manila and nearby provinces because this is a welcome relief amid the current heat. The Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System, or MWSS, assures the public that there will be enough water supply to last throughout the current dry season. This and more in tonight's business wrap from the Philippine News Agency.
In our business news, Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System, or MWSS, assured that Metro Manila and its nearby provinces will have sufficient water supply until the current dry season ends. The dry season began late March and is expected to end in May. MWSS Acting Deputy Administrator Patrick Dizon earlier said that the water level from Angat Dam was at 207.4 meters, which is 13 meters higher compared to the 194-meter level during the same period last year. State Weather Bureau Pag-asa noted that the normal high level of Angat Dam is 212 meters. Meanwhile, Dizon urged households to stock reserve water in preparation for the upcoming repairs during Holy Week. In other news, Fitch Solutions Unit Business Monitor International, or BMI, has announced that the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas will enforce new rate cut policies in June following a 25 basis point reduction in April. This comes after BMI cited the slowing inflation rate, which stood at 1.8% in March and is projected to average 2.6% for 2025. Concern over slower economic growth was also highlighted, partly due to the tariffs imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump on Philippine goods, which caused challenges to the Philippine economy. BMI added that if the 17% U.S. tariff is implemented after the 90-day universal 10% rate goes higher, BSP may be forced to cut rates more aggressively to meet the government's 6% growth target, as well as to support economic activity. And that's the latest business news from the Philippine News Agency. This is Marita Muahe for Balitang Pambansa.
Thank you, PNA. Meanwhile, Clark International Airport Corporation, or CIAC, aims to advance Clark's development into the country's leading logistics gateway by leveraging its strategic location, state-of-the-art infrastructure, and close proximity to air, sea, and land transport routes. Aldrin Maliare from the Philippine Information Agency, Central Luzon, has more.
Clark International Airport Corporation, or SIAC, has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Philippine Pharma Procurement Incorporated, or PPPI, for the establishment of a pharmaceutical logistics and distribution hub within the Clark Aviation Capital inside Clark Freeport Zone. The agreement aims to boost Clark's transformation into the country's premier logistics gateway, capitalizing on its accessibility, modern infrastructure, and proximity to air, sea, and land transport routes. SIAC President and CEO Joseph Alcazar said the partnership opens doors for various investment schemes, including joint ventures and public-private partnerships, while ensuring compliance with pharmaceutical industry standards such as cold chain management. For her part, PPPI President and CEO Maria Blanca Kimlokin described the initiative as a game-changer for the country's pharmaceutical supply chain, pointing to Clark's disaster-resilient environment and efficient connectivity to key transport corridors.
The project aligns with President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s vision to establish pharmaceutical ecozones that will boost local access to affordable healthcare and reduce reliance on imported medicines. From the Philippine Information Agency Central Luzon, Aldrin Maliari for Balitang Pambansa.
Every Holy Week, the town of Palo in Leyte transforms into a living tableau of faith. Streets are filled with solemn processions, churches echo with prayers, and the air is thick with reverence. In the heart of this deeply religious observance lies a culinary gem that has become a symbol of faith, community, and tradition. Alet Reyes from Philippine Information Agency Leyte in Philippine Information Agency Leyte tells us more.
Mola bola is a rice-based delicacy traditionally prepared in Palo Leyte during the Holy Week, particularly on a Good Friday. The name may connote a dish made from meat, but mola bola is actually meatless. It's like a cousin to other regions' bilo-bilo or other glutinous rice treats, but it is made in its own local flair. After being grinded into a dough, the glutinous rice is shaped into balls, then tossed into boiling coconut milk, continuously stirred, added with sugar, and sunk in with crushed or shredded ginger, wrapped in a cloth for that unique cake.
Ako lang ito, nadilibo dito mawaran ako batasan paghuli with mula-mula ko dito. Diyay pa daw ginatan. Ang batong gusto na ginmatan ko lang na huli with nani, magbuka ko mula-mula. Anak apoy, na ngumumit ito dito ng mga saop na, uy, magsimana siyanta na, magmumula-mula kita.
To help preserve this culinary heritage, the local government of Palo launched the ultimate Mola Bola Festival, inviting the youth to take part in honoring and reimagining the dish for the new generation. In a world where many traditions slowly fade, the Mola Bola endures, not because it is extravagant, but it is meaningful. A simple dish shaped by hand, seasoned with memory, and served with faith. From the Philippine Information Agency Leyte, Alet Reyes, Balitang Pambansa.
Heads up for our weather update. 18 areas are expected to have a danger level heat index tomorrow, Wednesday. According to Pagasa, a heat index of 50 degrees Celsius may hit Los Baños, Laguna, and 47 degrees Celsius on San Ildefonso, Bulacan. Meanwhile, Hacienda, Luisita, Tarlac City, Sangley Point, Cavite City, and Ambolong, Tanauan, Batangas may experience a 44 degrees Celsius heat index. Iso, Ichaque, Isabela, Baler, Aurora, and Catarman Northern Samar could reach up to 43 degrees Celsius heat index, and 42 degrees Celsius could be experienced in Naia, Pasay City, Tuguegarao City, Cagayan, Iba, Zambales, Clark Airport, Pampanga, Coron, Palawan, San Jose Occidental, Mindoro, Camarines Sur, Rojas City, Capiz, Iloilo City, and Dumangas, Iloilo. And that concludes a rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again tomorrow at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Princess Habiba Saripaudak, and this is your Balitang Pambansa.